How do we feel about, for instance, in hip hop and rap? I'm gonna be specific because it doesn't, or even R&B, because R&B uses some of that language too. How do we feel about people specifically? How do you guys feel?
What me?
You,
Am I
Keith?
special?
You, Keith, and
Black.
Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul. I hate that.
Makes you sound old.
Right. I am the oldest person here.
Mr. Taylor. Better?
Whoa.
No?
I don't have kids at anybody.
So, yeah. So, how do you guys feel about people who aren't black saying the N word when it's in a rap song? So, who wants to go first?
Oh, I think I said this already. I don't care. I don't care because that's what the artist put in the music. If he didn't want you to say it, they wouldn't put it in. If they didn't want you to say it,
No, you know what?
they wouldn't
That's
put it in the music.
That's an interesting perspective. I get why I get why you say that. And I feel like, okay, so
What?
It's not like I'm saying it to somebody. I'm going with a song. This is
No,
what
no,
somebody
no.
was feeling at the time they sung the song and lyrics or
Yeah.
rapped the lyrics. This is what they felt. This is what I'm repeating after them.
yeah, no,
To get
I
what
don't
they
feel that way.
You don't?
No?
I personally don't, but I get why you feel that way.
Okay.
And it does make absolute sense. So while it does, I don't feel that way.
Okay. How do you feel?
How do you feel? Yeah, tell
I
us, tell
personally
us.
feel like you should not be saying that if you are not of that culture.
So, who's allowed to say it?
The funny part is you would think that like half of me shouldn't be saying it, right? Because I'm
So you
both.
gotta say
Depends on
Nick.
which one you claim
So,
first.
so should I be able to
You
say,
gotta say
like
Nick.
half of the word or the other half of the word, right? But no, that's dumb.
Of course.
No, but I
Who should be allowed to say it? Why is it put in a song then if we can't?
That's
that is
So
a good
you
question.
so you like the money that goes into your pockets from these songs and music from people that aren't from your culture, but we're not allowed to say the word or be allowed to support that art in that way. So I'm not allowed to say the lyrics to a song that I really like and support,
getting paid for it.
and you getting paid for it.
That's an interesting perspective.
how does that work?
Mr. Paul, that sounds like some bullshit. Tell us what you really feel. Come on.
Well, I mean, to me, it's the same thing as you were getting paid for me to pick your cotton, but I didn't get anything from it but a place to live to continue to get up and pick your cotton. So it's to me, it's the same. It's the same difference. So art is what you make it. Art is subjective, right? And so while you can get what you get from it and you can feel what you feel from it, there are certain things that you shouldn't be, while it's interpretive, it's anybody's interpretation. You're going to pay to get what you get from it, but there are certain things that you're just not, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to just do just because it's in the name of art.
Yeah. Okay, I think I see where you're going with it. I think.
That's just,
I think
yeah.
that's you.
I don't think everybody needs to just be okay with just doing whatever
In music?
just because it's art. That's
I think
that's
I said.
music.
I think I see where
that's
where he's going.
painting.
But essentially, it's like, well, also you got to remember, right? So Keith and Mr. Paul are two different people, right? And what Paul is saying, right, is, I think there's two different kinds of people we're seeing here, right? We're seeing one person who's completely okay with the idea of it being said because it's in an art form and you're whatever getting compensated, or just in general, right? Why would you put it in, right? And put it out for the world to listen to, right? And then you have the other perspective, right, where it's like, well, I think what Mr. Paul is saying is that if we allow that to happen, then we're gonna allow for other things to happen in a sense,
Just
right?
throughout the
right.
entire-
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like once you're allowed to say that, well, then now you're gonna feel like you're allowed to say some other things, or you're allowed. So I think it's
Right, or just in conversation, or
then
now
just
because,
lose it
or,
and then lose
right, or
context
now
of it.
because I'm arguing with
with-
you,
I can-
because I've said it in a rap
Rap song,
song.
I can say
now
it
when I'm
now.
arguing with you,
It's
now
okay.
it's a term of endearment,
Yeah,
or
or
now
like
it's
okay to
just,
use.
yeah. Now I'm just
It's
arguing with you,
conversating.
yeah, and it's
Right.
like no,
No,
baby,
no.
because now
That's
you
two
can get
different
punched in the
situations, though.
face. Yeah, and now you're gonna get a mud hole.
But that's what I'm saying. But in that stance, right, in saying that it's okay, I think what he's saying is that it can be taken that way, right? And you don't know where that person is gonna take that word, right? You don't know where that
Right.
person's gonna take that word from
When
that
is the
art,
liberty
from music,
gonna be
right,
too
right,
far?
right.
Yeah.
So like, when is it gonna move from it being in an art form
To just
to outside of that, because of that art form, it's allowed being used in another situation
Yeah.
or in another instance, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is more so. But again, to me, I it's in the music, like,
Yeah.
and you put it
And
in
I
there.
think that's the reason why I said I get why you think that way,
Yeah.
because it does make sense. Like, it is art. So, when it's art, people take what they take from art.
right.
Yeah,
Like if I did a song and I'm saying, I'm rapping and I use a Mexican slur in it, right? Like spick or whatever, right? And I use that slur in it and that song happens to blow up. I can't expect, me as an artist myself, I cannot expect that people aren't going to say that word. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like I'm like at that point, then if I don't want to say it, then I just won't say it. Period.
Absolutely.
In a song, right? So, and I think that's that. I think again, that's an initiative that has to be taken from the artist, right? It has to be taken from the artist perspective.
But do artists have a double standard saying like I can say it in my song, but you can't say it
Yeah.
back
They
to
do.
me?
Yeah, well, it is.
Why?
the double
Yeah.
standard.
How does that work?
I mean, and
I get paid off the word, but you're not allowed to use it.
And I think I've seen a few videos where, and to me, sometimes I'm like, y'all are setting these white people up, where white people are pulled up on stage.
I was just gonna
and
get to that.
Then
And
they start
doing the
singing
lyrics
or
and
rapping
you get
to
mad
it,
when they
and then you get
finish
mad.
the
And
song
thing-
that you wrote. That-
Exactly. And the thing, I'm glad that you mentioned R&B, because R&B is a huge genre that puts it in there very slick, and it flows so nice with
Yeah.
the lyrics. When you're into that song, you're gonna be like,
Not really.
and so it's hard, because even for me, like I'm like, let me not use this word, because I'm just not trying to start anything. But yes, when I'm in my car and that song comes on, that Queen Naija song comes on, it's very hard for me to be like, no, I'm not going to say that part, because I'm super into that song. But then again, I know my limits on where to say it, where not to say it. And I'm not going to be out here using it on people. Like I'm not going to do
this
that.
is a little bit off of that, right? A little bit off of the topic, but in a sense with the topic, it's just an extension of it. Are we in our social circles? Are we using words? Because I had a conversation with somebody, right, where they're Latino, right?